I'd like to welcome everyone to the Q&A Cafe. I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors, HSBC Bank, the Amano Shop, Linens of the Week, with Washington Fine Properties, and actually our guest today, Georgetown Cupcake. Katherine, Kallinis, and Sophie LaMontagne have been sponsors of the Q&A Cafe for quite a while, but that has no influence on my interview. I want you to know
Thanks
that
for
right
having
now.
us, Carol.
But thank you for being here. I mean, I have told people from the beginning that even though I'm addicted to your cupcakes, this is actually a very legitimate business story because you are a business phenomenon. Wouldn't you agree?
We'd like to think so. We're really thankful for our success. It very well could not have turned out this way. And looking backward, it seems obvious. But when we started, we had no idea that it would turn out this way. So we're just really thankful.
What did you think it was going to turn out as?
In the beginning, we thought it would just be the two of us. We would do all the baking, all the frosting, all the selling, clean the store at night.
Make some lattes, read some magazines.
And we thought, we really thought we'd probably have 20 customers come in a day if we were lucky.
Yeah.
And our mother came down for opening weekend.
Your mother who's here today.
She's here today,
yeah.
And she ended up staying for 4 months.
Let's in praise of mothers.
Yeah.
Now, what was the day you opened again? What was the date?
It was February 14th.
Valentine's Day, 2008.
2008. And you've gone in that time from what, 4 or 5 employees?
To over 100 people on our payroll now.
And a location now in Bethesda.
Yep.
And you'll be moving to a new location in Georgetown.
On Tuesday, we're moving our shop from Potomac Street to 33rd and M, and we're really excited about that.
That's going to have more seating.
Yeah.
Not yet serving champagne, but
Not
we
yet.
have to see
One
the
day.
road. And you even have an agreement with UPS, and you ship nationwide or worldwide?
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
Ship nationwide.
You haven't taken on the planet yet, but that's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you surprised even yourselves?
Definitely. I think, like Katherine mentioned, we thought this would be a small, quiet little bakery tucked off on Potomac Street. And we did this because we always had this dream of opening a bakery together. When we were little girls, we'd always just talk about one day we'll open a bakery.
You had a pretend bakery?
Yeah, and we talked about it, and we went off to college and went our own separate career routes. And then one day we said, if we don't do it now, we're just never going to do it. So Katherine actually took the plunge first, and she quit her job in the summer of 07.
And that was up in Canada,
Yes,
right?
at Gucci.
At Gucci.
We said, well, we're going to do it now. And she came to, I was living in DC. Both of us had been living off and on in DC from, for the past 10 years. So we love Georgetown. We spent a lot of time in Georgetown. And Katherine found the spot on Potomac Street.
I moved in with Sophie and her husband, spent the year on her couch.
Can you afford your own place yet?
Yes, I moved out just recently.
But Katherine found the spot, and we saw it, and I'm like, well, this has great bones for a little bakery. And
it is adorable, and I wonder sometimes if moving it, if you worry about messing with
right,
with
and
the
that was a huge concern of ours too, because I think that a lot of people, when they come in, it's almost as if wow, this is it. This is Georgetown Cupcake. It's so small and cozy, and it feels like you're in Santa's workshop when you come inside. So we really wanted to keep that feel. Even when we were designing Bethesda, we wanted the exterior to be the same. We wanted everything to pretty much be the same.
Are you your own designers?
We designed the first one on our own, and it was a lot of, we put a lot of sweat equity into it. We painted the place, we installed the toilets. It was a lot of work. Yeah.
Well, that's something you do hope to pass on to somebody else, isn't it?
But it was a huge decision for us to open in Bethesda because Georgetown Cupcake had become this special place, and we love kind of the hole in the wall feel of it, and it's like a little whimsical environment. And the fact of the matter is we just had so many requests from customers, and the volume was getting to be so large that we just couldn't physically bake that many cupcakes in such a small space. And so we just needed a kitchen. And so it was important to us to keep that feel and not to lose that special feeling about it as we expand.
There are people who say that, and this is no surprise to you, that part of the experience of going to Georgetown Cupcake is standing in line. That people actually look forward to standing in line.
Definitely. I mean, we have a lot of customers who, they, even though they could place a pre-order, and you can do that if you have no time to wait, you can definitely place a pre-order, and you don't have to wait in line. You just skip, and we also deliver. They prefer to wait in line. They want to meet people in line. They like to talk.
And we've heard people meet each other and in line, like from different parts of the U.S. who are in D.C. and it's just funny the things you hear in line, the conversations people have, and
well, so
I think
let me
it's a
ask
social
you this:
experience.
what if with the new place you can serve such a volume that there's no line? What are you going to do about that?
I mean, for us, I mean, our main priority is serving our customers and.
Right.
You know, getting their
Line
cupcakes
or no
to them,
line.
yeah, when they need to. And you know, sometimes people like I know they get frustrated waiting line. We're actually more anxious about the line because you know we have to make sure to serve people as fast as we can. So you know, if there's a line or not a line, I mean, I think the most important thing is that when people come to Georgetown Cupcake, it's a really memorable experience. From like the moment they walk in the door or they, you know, place their order on the phone to the moment they pick it up or eat the cupcake at home. Like we want it to be a memorable experience that they share with their friends and you know pass it along.
When did you know that you'd turn that corner from just your little fantasy of the two of you baking cupcakes for what 20 people a day to realizing that you may have started the bomb?
I think it was the day the Washington Post article came out, and it was a funny story. It was Walter Nichols who had come to the door. I think he came at 7
I
in the
was
morning.
there. I
Yeah,
remember being
okay,
there
yeah.
the day that.
It was at the second day we were open, and
So I mean, it wasn't my story in New York City. Darn it.
no, that helped too. But he
I'm kidding.
came in, knocked on the door, and I came up from the kitchen, and I had red velvet all over me and chocolate. And he said, "I'm Walter Nichols with the Washington Post. Like, I want to do an article on you." Food section, and I said, "No, sorry, we're not interested. We're really busy. Like yesterday, we had to shut down twice.
not interested.
And we, you know, our customers were upset that we had sold out, and so we really need to focus." And he's like, "No, you don't understand. You know, I'm from the Washington Post. I want to do a feature article on you." And I said, "I'm sorry. Like we're really busy. Like I don't." And he goes, "I've done this before. Like I can observe you."
Do you want to see my credentials?
Yeah, and I said, "No, I was really nervous that we weren't going to open on time." And so I said, "I'm sorry, I can't let you in." And so he said, "Okay, fine." So he waited from 7 until 11 a.m. until we opened the door outside.
that.
Yeah.
And
He was talking to
outside.
people.
he was
and they
talking
were-
to people in line, and Sophie and I were frantic inside, like trying to get like as many frosties as we possibly could because I was going to be working the front register, and while she was frosting whatever we had baked that morning.
And he came in and he was trying to wait for a moment to speak to us, and he was just kind of looking around saying, "This place is crazy." And
he saw me like lugging, 100 pounds of sugar down the stairs.
Well,
into
you
the
always
kitchen,
want
and-
to do that in front of a reporter. You
Yeah.
want to show.
We didn't
I know
really
you
fully
weren't
understand.
baking.
We
Yeah.
didn't fully understand.
The power of the Post.
yeah.
The irony is that I believe he was bought out and no longer has his job there. They should have realized his power. But so that story appeared how many days later?
Probably 2 weeks later.
2 weeks. Did
And
you know it was appearing?
we knew the night before it was going to appear. But at that point, like we still didn't understand like what that would do to the business. And that Wednesday, there was like a line, that went wrapped around the block, and we were like, "Oh my God, it's not going to be the same."
Okay. So that's when you realized that you had a draw. When did you realize that the numbers added up in your favor? I mean, that you were making money.
I think probably shortly after that article. At the beginning, on the first day, I remember Katherine and I, we baked 500 cupcakes and to sell on our opening day. We thought, if we sell 500 cupcakes, that would be amazing. Like we never thought we would sell them. We thought maybe we could
can
sell
pay
100 or
ourselves.
so.
Or
And
just
we
pay
ended-
the rent.
yeah,
That's
and-
all we were concerned about, just
rent.
paying the rent.
Yeah, and we ended up selling out, I think, in 2 hours. And then we shut down. We baked like another 200 or so. So we sold maybe 700 or 800 cupcakes the first day. I can't remember. And it just kept growing and growing after that. And we realized we needed more people. This was, a sustainable business. People wanted the cupcakes, and I think.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
the economy's crashing.
Yeah.
So how did you put those two together?
Well, we really didn't think about.
You couldn't notice the economy.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, for us,
You lucky
we only-
duckies.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people may be going. There are a lot of cupcake shops opening now, and I think a lot of people are like, wow, this is a great way to make a lot of money. It's a great business. But for us, when we started, we really weren't concerned with that. Like we had great jobs, we were happy with them. This was really just a silly kind of little dream we had of opening a bakery.
Our parents really discouraged us from doing it, and they were really worried that we were going to leave our jobs to bake cupcakes, and they didn't think that like it was